Hello, viewers, and welcome to my channel. I'm your host, Tavis Kelly, and this is my first. This is going to be the first game review for my channel. Uh, this was suggested by a friend of mine who is part of my PlayStation account. Uh, and I didn't know what to do at first for a game review. I had a selection. Assassin's Creed, BioShock, and Dead Space, some big name ones, but I didn't know what to do. So, with a little help from friends, I got the suggestion of doing the Dragon Ball games. Now, it's funny because I actually did it, as you all know, I did a review, or more of a rant really, on the horrible adaptation of Dragon Ball Evolution, and I mean, kind of speaks for itself. So, how to start this? There's not really too much to review. The biggest thing on this review is actually on the newest hit game, Dragon Ball Z Battle of Z. I pre-ordered this. When I first heard about this game, how it was multiplayer, how aside from versing another opponent, you can actually team up with three other people and have a team battle. When I saw that and saw some of the videos, I thought, damn, in all honesty. So I pre-ordered the game, got it, and with pre-order you get downloads, and it seems that it doesn't matter where you would buy this game, buy it at Best Buy, buy it at GameStop, you would automatically get the download for the crossover costume of Sage Mode Naruto for Super Saiyan Goku. Now, they've done something like this before. When it came to Ultimate Ninja Storm 3, where they allowed Naruto to have the Goku outfit for one of his forms or his new move standings. And one of the things that you got different with that was Naruto did a type of Kamehameha motion with his Rasengan, which was awesome. Although the fact that they gave him the uh, an accessory like the power pole to be on his back and he never uses it, it kind of begs the question, why even bother? But we're not talking about that. In any case, Battle of Z, to give it an honest review as a fan of the series, it's actually pretty decent. It holds up pretty well. The stories, when you play some of the major stories like facing off the androids or Raditz or Cell or whatever, you know, like most games or whichever version you play, whether the PS2 versions, the HD collection remakes or whatever, they tend to cut it short. This game cut a lot of the excuse me. They cut a lot of the iconic battles pretty short. Example. Um, in the fight with Raditz in the game, you were teamed up with Krillin to fight him. Now, far be it for me to really criticize and judge something as a simple change as that, but it Krillin wasn't there in the fight with Raditz. It was Goku and Piccolo. Now, granted, they branch off from there to where not only do you play a main story hero side, but you can also play a alternate villain side. And this one you can play as Raditz with Cybermen and face off against Goku and Piccolo. And respectfully, respectfully, it's not bad. It really isn't. Um, the biggest pain, though, I have to say, is when you're playing some of the missions, you actually have to either get an S rank or higher in the missions. And the highest the ranking goes is S, double S, and a Z. And the Z is only, it can only be done when you perform an ultimate move with with a certain number of characters. Um, the game has a lot of good points. The graphics are decent enough. The voice acting is pretty good. Is actually decent, and considering they still use the same voice actors as the anime, I would imagine that they have to keep. If they used anybody else, it'd be weird. Um, there's a lot of good points. The visual effects of doing some of their special abilities, some unique abilities that have actually progressed pretty well. Um, the thing though, but I think before I even get too far ahead, I should at least dive into what the good aspects are. Now, a lot in the story they they tie in some gameplay to where you're playing movie versions like facing off against Metacooler, you're facing off against Broly. They put in some of those iconic scenarios. Um and although some of the cutscenes don't make a lot of sense, it's not all that bad. Some of the things they rewrote, some of the things they kept the same, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not too bad. You know, a total of 60 missions in the game, so they're all iconic in one form or another. There are some points you play like two different sides or something completely random. For example, there is a mission where you fight against Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, and Fat Boo. Now, if you haven't beaten the game, the only characters that would be available to you would be Majins. So that would be Dabura, Evil Boo, Super Boo, and even Kid Boo. So you can only use the Majins, and apparently you can't play a game by yourself. You have to have three additional computers to play with you. Now, fine and dandy, only if they made the computers more competent. I mean, I think that's just the lacking department when you play single player and they don't put in a competent AI. I don't know. You would think they'd do something like that. But it is what it is, and you can't do much. Uh, I think the best aspect of some of these missions I have played, the best and hardest one was actually the last mission. It was mission 60, and the title of it was called The Ultimate Vegito. Now, when I played this, I was actually under the impression that if you beat this, you actually got to unlock the Fusion Warrior Super Vegito. Apparently, that's not the case, and I can't understand why. You know, let me explain. Now, you see, when you're playing this mission, it's literally a fight to stay alive. It's literally a survival. And unless you balance out your characters for fighters and healers, as well as giving yourselves retries and equipping yourself with item cards so that you can get through the mission faster, you're not going to make it very far. Mission 60 is comprised of 3 rounds. The first round is comprised of just random people popping in. There's no rhyme or reason, they're just random. You know, uh, different versions of Gohan come in. Kid Gohan, Teen Gohan, Super Saiyan Teen Gohan, and oh no, yeah, Teen Gohan, and then like Super Saiyan Adolescent, where this version of the adolescent Gohan is in the Great Saiyaman costume. Now, you cannot change the costumes of these characters, but you can change the colors. So they allow you to change the color schemes of the characters and personalize them the way you want. And fine, dandy, that's not such a big deal. I mean, not many people dive into that. But, you know, as I said, the first round is just random people popping in after you destroy one, and then more and more and more until you get to the final person. The second round is based on groups, and like the Z Fighters, uh, Frieza's family, the Ginyu Force, the Super Saiyans, being like Goten, Kid Trunks, Vegeta, and Goku, even Gohan. So, they bring in the groups. The final round, round 3, is where you fight singular people. Ba- and all this basically is the singular people are the hardest people of all. That's why they're only single people. Legendary Super Saiyan Brawly, uh, Final Form Cooler, Full Powered Frieza, Perfect Cell, Super Saiyan 3E Goku, Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, and so on and so forth to what is basically the characters you play as. Now, if you manage to survive the onslaught of characters pummeling your face and until you're nothing but cabbage mulch, you then face off against the final boss, which is Super Vegito. And I have to say that is the hardest person you fight, and he's the last guy. Does he do a lot of specialties? Not so much, but it's either you find a way to gang up on him, or you do an ultimate move to beat him. And that's if you can manage, and that's if your teammates or the computers can manage to keep him off your ass. It's difficult. It was difficult, but finally beat it, and I got to unlock a character. And what Battle of Z is actually supposed to be like to prepare you for the upcoming new feature film, animation, mind you, of the next Dragon Ball Z movie, and that is Battle of the Gods. And what's nice is that this game allows you to play three characters from that movie. Uh, some assistant named Whis, Whis, however the hell you want to say that, Whis, Weiss, whatever. And the god he serves, uh, damn, you know what? I forgot his name. I if you need to figure out if you want a good idea of what he looks like, or if you haven't seen it already, it's basically it's a base. Just think a skin, long pointed ear cat or dog, purple, wearing Egyptian clothing. That's pretty much just how you see it, and it's however you take it. I know his name begins with a B, but for the life of me, it escapes me. But now you play as the infamous Super Saiyan God Goku, and that character's OP'd as anything, just to start off. Now, as much as great as the anticipation of the movie, the game, as good as it is, especially the different variations of multiplayer, where you can play as a team, do a battle royale, whatever. But there, it had like its big disappointments, and the things I cannot stand is how much these changes have completely filled a roster. I can't guess for sure, maybe 40 plus. It's not even that much. And most of the roster characters could be bundled, but they don't do that. Let me give you an example. The Super Saiyan forms of Goku. Okay, now, I think actually, before I get ahead of that, I can understand the concept of being able to create your own team in this game, and that's fine. Having a team of Super Saiyan Gokus, or you know, a team of Cybermen, team of Krillin, whatever. You know, that's fine and dandy, but the thing that just aggravates me on this is how limited the characters are in using an ultimate, and how limited the roster is, where it could honestly be more. But they messed up on that so bad. It's. I don't want to say it's a waste of money. It's a lot of fun. But there's so much they could have done better. So much. And it disappoints that they could have done better. Now, as I was saying, with, the Super Saiyan forms of Goku, you know, they have them separate. They have, Goku, then Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3, and then Super Saiyan God. Well, okay, fine. Um, the thing is why are they separate? You can't do any type of transformation in the game. I looked at this and I'm like, what the hell? You have to choose the Super Saiyan character. You can't just transform in mid battle. I mean, they give you. I think they give you the kind of. They give you the resources in which it looks like you can perform it. So why not? Why not perform a transformation? I mean, if they can do it in the cutscene with the characters when you're playing against a boss, why can't they let you do that as a character itself? I That would honestly make the game more fun, more. addicting, more something to dive into more. But that's me. Maybe there's people who really don't give a damn. Maybe there's people who you know are okay with this. But for some of us who have played, Budokai or Tenkaichi, however you want to pronounce it, I don't care. Raging Blast 1 and 2, Ultimate Tenkaichi, they allowed you to transform. And, the best examples are, Raging Blast. You transform on the spot. You do fusion on the spot. So why take that away? Why take that away from your fans in a game you've hyped up so much? It's something I just can't understand. So, I don't know. I mean, it could be their plan of doing something. It could be some way of how they want to do it. I don't know, and I honestly don't care. Uh, the thing, so that's kind of like the biggest flaw. You can't do any transformations in Battle of Z. So I honestly don't understand that. Maybe it's so they cheaped out, or maybe they got lazy. I don't know, but it is what it is. The other thing that bothers me is the limited characters in Ultimates. Like I've said, I don't know how many times. They've only given it to a couple of characters. They given it to Goku, full powered Frieza, Cell. They gave it to Kid Buu. They gave it to Legendary Super Saiyan Brawly. They've only given it to a select few, and it's not even close to 10 characters. They didn't even give an ultimate to Super Saiyan God. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you're gonna build up hype for something that's cut for a movie on an upcoming movie, give us the characters from that movie. Don't you think it would make sense to give an ultimate to at least the two gods that would fight in the movie? I mean, it's kind of I'm sorry, but it's like they didn't put a lot of thought into it. It feels like it was just rushed, like no one gave a damn. Um, Now I understand. Another thing I understand is that Super Saiyan God is supposed to be like another ultimate form of the Goku. It's surprisingly supposed to be powerful than Super Saiyan 4. Well, if that's the case, it's something that could have been maybe mentioned in the GT series or whatever. Or probably no one ever thought about it. I don't know. But they got lazy in the design, folks. I don't know how badly I can stress this, but they got lazy. They barely did anything to change Goku aside from hair, eyebrows, and eyes. And the thing they did with the eyebrows and eyes is that they're red. Okay, fine. But and the hair, I'm sorry, they barely did anything other than just give it a different hair color. It's just Goku's standard hair, some bits changed around, and that's it. It's laziness in its all-time high. Unless they were drunk, high, and stupid on crack to not think of something as visionary as trying to picture a Super Saiyan God form. I mean, you can go onto DeviantArt or Yahoo Image and you can look at the fan service of so many different forms that people have created for Super Saiyan, all the way up to 10. And you can just use one of them and give them the credit for at least the design and or something. I don't know, but there could have been more creativity. You want to make it red hair? Fine. I mean, for God's sake, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta had red hair. I'm not against the color. I'm against the fact of lack of creativity. And speaking of lack of creativity, the attacks to some of these characters. The one thing I've noticed was for Goku, just the plain character. You know, the special ability they gave him. You know, yes, it's the Kamehameha. Fine, whatever. But the thing is, they gave the super version of that to him. Why? He didn't do the super version of that until he was Super Saiyan 2. And hell, he did the same thing when Super Saiyan 3. Now I understand giving it to Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. I understand giving it to Fat Boo. I understand giving it to Kid Boo. I understand giving it to even Super Boo. But why give it to a character early on? To a character that hasn't even developed that level? Either they just wanted to get it out of the way, they wanted to make it a type of visual effect to where it pleases the audience in visualness. I don't know. I feel like they may have dropped the ball a little bit in how they presented with some of the attacks. Aside from not making transformations and poor imagination on how they could have done Super Saiyan God, there's just so many things they could have done. I mean, just look, folks, at whether you can see this or not. The red hair, all that. There's nothing different. There really is, and it's sad that they could have done something better. I honestly don't know. Oh, and again, what's worse is that they put in a total of two characters that, unless you pre-ordered them from like two different stores, you weren't going to be able to get them. Standardly, you would get the Naruto Sage Mode costume for Super Saiyan Goku, no matter where the hell you purchased it. Didn't matter. But for Vegito, you have to pre-order it and get it at Best Buy. For Super Saiyan Bardock, you ended up having to get that at GameStop. So, like anything else, they're probably going to make these characters as purchasable downloads for the game. So it's no surprise there that they would do these kind of pre-orders. Though some pre-orders you won't be able to get because they're only unique to those stores. Best example is some of the pre-order costumes for Batman Arkham Origins for the Tim Drake costume. You got it at uh, Best Buy, but you didn't get it at GameStop. So, and I've checked that thing so many times, and it's never on there. So, it's a bit of a letdown that some gaming companies can either get lazy or lack of vision. I don't know. I don't know truly what it's about. All I know is that they could have done better. There's always there's always time. You don't have to rush a game to get it out one. There's no rush, people. There really isn't. Take the time if you're gonna make something new, like Super Saiyan God. If you're gonna make something new, take the time to make it different. Don't half-ass it and just switch a couple pieces of hair and dye it red and say, there we go, we're done. That it? What the hell? I mean, you went through the trouble for Super Saiyan 4 to extend the hair, give him body hair that probably puts most bikers to shame, for all I know, and even gave him back a tail and new pants. I mean, if you're going to go through the trouble of doing that, why not go through the trouble for Super Saiyan God? I might be the only one who thinks this. But then again, I know that there's others. I know my cousin and I both believe they could have done better. But I mean, And we love the series. We loved playing the game. We love in the fact of what it brought, how it did new visionary for multiplayer. But they could have done better in so many ways. It hurts. It's like I don't know. They could have done better. But I mean, does that say that you shouldn't get the game? Personally, the way how you should do this is check check gameplay videos, try the demo, whatever. Do your research into the game and figure it out. If anything, rent the game first and find out from there. This way, you're not wasting a lot of money. You're not going to waste a lot of time, and you'll at least find out whether it's worth getting or not. Do I think it was a waste of money to buy? It's on the fence, but I still enjoy it. I still enjoy how the game goes. I still enjoy how, the concept of the multiplayer and the fact that they gave us characters from the soon upcoming movie Battle of Gods. So, there's not much to be said. You know, they may have rushed it like so many different numerous kind of games, but time will tell. You know, time will tell whether or not there's ever going to be an improvement. But like I said, we'll see. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this review, and next time I will. Well, it's not decided yet what next game I'll review. There's going to be a bit of debate on that. I'm going to talk to friends and ask for opinions, and we'll just pull from there. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hope to see you next time, and goodbye.